Welcome to Satoshi Fibs. I'm Mr. Legend. In this video, we're looking at Bitcoin's price history, how to find the Bitcoin bottom of the 2022 bear market. A lot of people use different methods to find the Bitcoin bottom. Some people actually use the relative strength index. So when the relative strength index, the RSI is oversold, they assume that's the bottom. Some other people use the moving average. History has shown that anytime Bitcoin comes to its 200-week moving average, that's the bottom, is the bottom in. Some other people use sentiment in the market. When there's extreme fear in the market, when there's prolonged extreme fear, and that's where they actually think the bottom is in. In this video, we'll be using the Fibonacci Retracement tool. It's a very, very important tool. This tool is called the top and bottom of all previous Bitcoin bull and bear market cycles. And these examples of the Fibonacci Retracement tool actually calling the tops of cycles and different assets. This is a total crypto market cap of all of crypto. It's actually called the top of the crypto market. It actually predicted that top of the crypto market to top around $2.8 trillion. We got above that. We got to as high as $3 trillion. The accuracy is very, very crazy. It called the top of the Ethereum bull run. It actually predicted that Ethereum would top around $570 billion. Ethereum got to as high as $578 billion, and then it started crashing. It predicted the top of the Bitcoin bull run. So the bull run, we just got to that Bitcoin got 69,000. If you go use the Fibonacci Retracement tool on the Bitcoin market cap chart, you can see that we hit it perfectly. We got to $1.269 trillion, and since then we have been dumping. So this tool is actually pretty accurate in its prediction. Just a little history about the Fibonacci Retracement tool before we go on. Fibonacci Retracement is a method of technical analysis for determining support and resistance level. It's named after the Fibonacci sequence of numbers whose ratio provide price levels to which market tend to retrace a portion of a move before a trend continues in its original direction. And this sequence actually occurs in nature. This is a numeric ratio that can be used to describe the proportion of everything from nature's smallest building blocks such as atoms to the most advanced patterns in the universe like unimaginable large celestial bodies. Nature relies on this inanimate proportion to maintain balance, but the financial market seems to conform to this ratio. And that's why these examples I gave you guys came out to play. Think about what are the odds that this tool could have actually predicted the top of the crypto market since December 2018. Since then, you would have known that the top of the crypto bull run market would be around $3 trillion. You would have known that the top of Ethereum would have been around $575 billion. And you would have known that Bitcoin would top around 69K. We'll be studying Bitcoin's price history in this video. I'll be showing you how the Fibonacci Retracement tool would have accurately predicted all the tops and all the bottoms of previous Bitcoin cycles. You would have been able to sell the top and buy the bottom. Now, this is just theory. This is not financial advice. I've gone through hours and hours of staring at this chart and trying to just work my magic on them. But guys, the tools don't lie. All you have is time. All we need is time. If you trust the process, it will actually work out through. That's why it's important to study Bitcoin price history. And this chart just shows us people's emotions. The chart represents fear and greed. The market is actually driven by people's fear and greed, and that's why it's important for us to study Bitcoin price history. If you go to Bitcoin and just go and check Bitcoin price history over time, you see that Bitcoin's price is actually increasing over time. So if you got into Bitcoin in 2011 and you just kept stacking over time, you'd have been in profit. But a lot of times people want to jump into the market when it's the top of the bull run. They were hearing it's going to the moon, it's never going to dump again. And when we're in the bottom of the bear market and they get flooded out their coins, people sell at losses and they're like, oh, this is a scam, I'm not doing again. Right now we're in that time period in time where a lot of people are really leaving the market saying this is a scam again. So we're trying to find the bottom, because if this tool can actually show us where the bottom will be, then it can predict the next top because it has done it in previous cycles. We want to study Bitcoin's price history because we want to avoid making the same mistake. Guys, I got into Bitcoin in December 2018. I was lucky enough to just get into Bitcoin without anybody kind of shilling to me, telling me it's going to the moon. I needed to do something, and the person that was collecting the payments said he only collected Bitcoin, and I made my first Bitcoin purchase on the 30th of December 2018. I got a little Bitcoin just to see it was working, and then you know what? I went all in that same day and I got over $250 million for just over 1,000 US dollars at that point in time. Right now, think about this, how crazy this is right now. I got a quarter of a Bitcoin for $1,000 in 2018, and barely 4 years later, people are crying, Bitcoin is dumping, and still I'm still up 4x on my investment, because Bitcoin was around $4,000, right? Around that region. For me to get a quarter of it for $1,000, Right now Bitcoin is going for $20,000. That means I'm still up over 400% on my investment. So if you can get in at the bottom, you actually see a lot of upsides, and there's high chance that price will probably not come back to your buy point. So how will you actually know the bottom of the cycle? That's why we're studying the price chart, we're studying the price history, because guys, the markets are controlled by emotions. So anything that's happened again, a variation of it will happen again in the future. We have seen tops of markets happen. They'll show people is going to the top and we're never dumping. That's what happened in 2018 when Bitcoin was reaching 20k. When Bitcoin got to 3k, nobody wanted Bitcoin again. And when Bitcoin went back to 60k, people are saying sell your house, get some Bitcoin. Right now Bitcoin is back at 20k and nobody wants it again. We want to actually buy low and sell high, and that's the reason why we actually looking at how to find the Bitcoin bottom. Let's go to the Bitcoin first bull run that happened in 2011. This is the first Bitcoin bull run that happened in 2011. Bitcoin was introduced like 2010. Bitcoin was trading for 8 cents then. Will you imagine? Bitcoin was trading for 8 cents then. And the tool we're using to find the bottom is the Fibonacci Retracement tool. And the way you use the tool is you go to the top of a move to the bottom of a move. You can come here on TradingView or chat.cointrader.pro and go to your tools here, go to Fibonacci Retracement. When you click on it, you go to the top of a move. This was the top of the first Bitcoin bull run to the bottom of the bear market that Bitcoin first had, which was bottom, when Bitcoin bottomed in 2011. And if you draw the Fibonacci Retracement tool, it told us how high Bitcoin would have gone in that bull run. You can see that what is crazy about this tool is actually used to show support and resistance level by traders. A lot of traders use it, and because a lot of traders use it, it turns to a self-fulfilling prophecy. And crazy that it occurs very, very well in nature. This is how nature uses to balance itself. You can see that the first Bitcoin bull run, the Fibonacci Retracement tool told us how high to go. Yes, we had some dips or some pumps over that, but by and large, if you sold when this tool told you to sell, you would have sold the top. Now, will the Fibonacci Retracement tool have accurately predicted the next pump? Guys, it will have accurately predicted the next pump after that cycle. Guys, one thing you have to know is that you have to trust the process. Time is the essential ingredient of mastery. Use it to your advantage. If there's anything I've learned from studying the Bitcoin price chart, is that when you find something, the emotions on the whole market might be saying something else, but facts don't lie. Now, the next cycle Bitcoin had, how would I have predicted Bitcoin will go to this top? If you went to the top, that Bitcoin pump right here, that's in 2013, to the bottom, Bitcoin had a nasty bottom after it topped, and you draw the Fibonacci Retracement tool. Guess what, guys? Actually, you would have sold the top again. This is the second time the Fibonacci Retracement tool is actually predicting the top. Now, it didn't predict the bottom of this cycle. We didn't have any price history of previous bear markets for Fibonacci Retracement tool, so it was just from the first pop we had, in the first pop of the bubble that happened in 2011, to the bottom where Bitcoin bottomed in 2011. And if you use the Fibonacci Retracement tool for the second bull run that happened for Bitcoin, guess what, guys? You would have actually sold the top again right here around almost $1,000. If you had used the Fibonacci Retracement tool, you would have, from the top of Bitcoin that came in around $250 to the bottom that quickly came in around $51. And that time, remember, a lot of people are not trading Bitcoin. What's crazy about this, think about the millions and millions and millions of people that are buying Bitcoin, trading Bitcoin, sharing into their family members, and still the Bitcoin price is still actually following Fibonacci retracements. Very, very crazy. It's very fascinating to me. How would you have known the bottom of that bear cycle? Now, we already had previous history of a bear market. By 2013, we knew what a Bitcoin bear market felt like. How are we going to have predicted the bottom of the bear market, guys? You see that we use the Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom of that cycle from the top of that cycle to the bottom of the cycle, and it told us how high Bitcoin would have gone to, and Bitcoin got to as high as almost $1,000, and then it started dumping. And if you notice that Bitcoin dumped to the 0.72 region, and yes, we had some weeks that came to as low as 0.5 region on this Fibonacci retracement tool. And let me cycle it so that I can see right here. You can see that this 0.72 region, that's where Bitcoin actually kind of finds the bottom around this region right here. Bitcoin found its bottom around the 0.72 region. Yes, we had weeks that brought it around the 0.5, 0.6 region, but by and large, it found its bottom between the 0.72 region and the 0.16 region. After then, Bitcoin went into new all-time highs. Now, when Bitcoin went into new all-time highs and broke out of this retracement tool, then we're about to start another one. So anytime the Fibonacci retracement set a new all-time high, comes down for reaccumulation, when it breaks a new high, then we can go to the top of the previous cycle because we already have a new bottom. And if we do that again for Bitcoin, guys, this is very, very easy if you're following through. If you do that for Bitcoin again, from the top of the cycle that happened in 2013 for Bitcoin to the bottom that we already knew right now that happened for Bitcoin in 2015, entering 2016, if you use that tool, remember, as Bitcoin broke out of this old cycle that we had from 2013 to 2015, then we have started another cycle. That's what it means. Now if you go to the top from 2013 to the bottom that happened in 2015, you start that second cycle. You can see that Bitcoin got to the full retracement right here. Now we're expecting Bitcoin to dump, but Bitcoin continue pumping. Guess what? The Fibonacci retracement tool got you covered. You would have predicted that Bitcoin would have gone to as high as $20,000. If you go for the Mama Jama right here, boom, that's you use the full extension instead of assuming that Bitcoin will just go for the minimal extension from the top of the previous bull run to the bottom of the bear market. You use the top, that's the 0.236 level of the Fibonacci retracement tool. So instead of having your one starting at the top, you have your accumulation period starting at the top. So this was the accumulation period of a lifetime between 2014 and 2016. All those that got Bitcoin at that period in time will probably never ever be in loss. And you can see that it predicted the top of the previous Bitcoin bull run. It actually told us Bitcoin will top around 18,800 and Bitcoin actually topped at 19,000. So you would have sold the top yet again. Is that not wonderful to think? You would have sold the top yet again. You are wondering right now that probably just coincidence. Now the same thing we did for this previous cycle, that when Bitcoin came back, where did he find his support? He found support around 0.72 region to 0.618 region. Look at it here. Bitcoin came back to 0.70 region. That was around 3,600 to around 3,200, and you can see that that's the same region Bitcoin consolidated in 2013 and 2015. The same thing again happened in 2018, and even when we had the COVID sell-off, it was not just a COVID sell-off. We were coming back to that region the same way we did in the previous bear market. That's what we just did right here. But before we got to that level, it got bought up. Now, how would you have predicted the top of the next Bitcoin cycle, which just stopped in 2021? We already saw that the Fibonacci retracement tool from the inception of Bitcoin predicted the top of Bitcoin in 2013. It predicted the next top in 2014. It predicted another top again in 2017. At the same time, predicting the bottom of the bear market, predicted the 2018 bear market. How would you have known the 2021 Bitcoin bull run was going to end in 69,000? Use the Fibonacci retracement tool from the top that happened in 2017, ending of 2017, to the bottom of the bear market that came through in December 2018. If you use the Fibonacci retracement tool, and remember guys, I told you guys that when the Fibonacci retracement tool actually gets into new highs, that's when it breaks out of the previous retracement tool you drawn, then it's the time to start the other one from the top of the previous cycle. So when in 2013, when it broke out of this range, that's when we started calculating for the 2017 top, and the same thing we'll do for the 2017 to the 2021 bull run. And if you see that if you draw it from the top of the 2017 bull run to the bottom of the bear market in 2018, you can see that accurately it predicted that Bitcoin was going to get to 69,600. And where did Bitcoin get to? It actually got to 69,600 and some change on some exchanges. So again, it could have actually helped you buy the bottom and sell the top. I got my Bitcoin in December 2018. I didn't sell at the top. I'm not coming here to brag to you I sold at the top, but I went and I was studying Bitcoin price history, because guys, we only have the past to help us accurately make better decisions in the future. We have to use what we have. The markets are very, very random. Trust the process. Time is the essential ingredient of mastery. Use it to your advantage. All we have is time, and we consider this Fibonacci retracement to use the Fibonacci numbers that naturally occurs in nature. Guys, think about how many thousands and thousands and thousands of transactions occurred, how many millions and millions of people bought Bitcoin and sold Bitcoin, but still Bitcoin is still following this Fibonacci retracement tool. It topped where it told us it was going to top. Right now, where's the bottom of Bitcoin coming in? We're going to be looking at that very, very soon. But guys, another thing you need to know is that if your long-term Bitcoin investment thesis changed because of the price, you never understood Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the same since 2011 till 2022. Yes, we have some minor upgrades here and there, but if you understand Bitcoin and you understand that we're only going to have 21 million coins, Bitcoin is a very scarce product. We're only going to have 21 million of it, and if we have 21 million of it, we have more people wanting to have Bitcoin than we can have Bitcoin existence. So the more people know about Bitcoin, the more they want to get Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is scarce. Just because it's scarce, it means over time the price will still keep going high. Now the price might not be going crazy high the way it was going in the past. The more people know about it, the less the price will be shooting up crazy in the future, and it's diminishing returns. And right now you want to get the bottom again. How will you get the bottom? Using the same tool, the Fibonacci Retracement tool. Fibonacci Retracement tool for predicting where the bottom will be based on what it has done in the past. We expect the bottom to come in around 0.72 region and 0.618 region of this cycle. And where will that region be for Bitcoin? And that region will be for Bitcoin will be around $14,000 to around 12,900. So is the Bitcoin bottom in? I don't think so. And when Bitcoin actually start breaking below $15,000 to around $12,000, that will be a very good place to accumulate. But you can see that most times we don't spend a lot of time there. We just come there. People would think we're going to zero. Everybody will be expecting lower prices, and boom, the cycle has started. I can see us doing the same thing right now. I can see us actually probably will dump or pause around this region, pause for a while, then we'll break down. And anything that will make us to break down, a lot of people will start coming for doom and gloom. And this just looks like the place that will have max pain. And how we know that that's the Bitcoin bottom, guys? In the beginning of this video, I showed you guys other methods people use to actually find the bottom of Bitcoin. Some people actually use the RSI when it's oversold. Some people actually use moving averages. Some people actually use sentiment in the market. But what better way to find the bottom of Bitcoin than using the three ways? What if we use all the other ways that everybody use, plus the information we have now about the Fibonacci retracement tool, and we'll mix all of them and see that, okay, anytime there's confluence with all these indicators and tools, maybe that's the Bitcoin bottom. So anytime Fibonacci retracement tool is showing us that Bitcoin is approaching the 0.702 region, and at the same time the RSI on Bitcoin on the weekly is showing oversold. Bitcoin RSI on the weekly is showing that we are being oversold, the most oversold in history. At the same time, if Bitcoin is hitting all its moving averages, that's on the larger time frames, the 200-week moving average, the 300-week moving average, and that's very we should actually be noticing that. At the same time, if Bitcoin is hitting its moving averages, that's another style people use to know the bottom. At the same time, if sentiment in the market is trash, the bottom of Bitcoin is probably in. If you go back in time and you see that anytime the bottom of Bitcoin is coming in, that's when a lot of people say Bitcoin is dead, it was always a bubble, it's a scam, yada. That always happens at the bottom. Guys, another important thing I noticed in the Bitcoin price chart is that during the previous bear market, or at least in the last two previous bear markets for Bitcoin, from the all-time high, Bitcoin has dumped over 80-something%. In 2013, 2014, Bitcoin dropped like 86% from the all-time high. In 2017, Bitcoin dropped around 83.4%. In 2020, if Bitcoin is going to pull similar style move from $69,000 to the bottom, where will Bitcoin drop to 83% to carry us around that $11,000 region? That's around the same region where the Fibonacci extension tool is telling us that the Bitcoin bottom will come in. So using all these tools, guys, the Bitcoin bottom might probably come in from around $15,000 to around $12,000. You can never catch the bottom. You will not be the person to actually buy the absolute bottom, but that region looks like a very interesting region. And when Bitcoin start getting to $15,000 to around $12,000, I believe that the bottom will be in by then, because then to satisfy Bitcoin dropping at least 83% from its all-time high, would have seen the RSI of Bitcoin on the weekly getting oversold. It's currently oversold right now. I can see us having the same style move of what we did in 2014 entering 2015, where the RSI will actually double bottom so that we can go lower. Right now Bitcoin has pierced below its 200-week moving average. If Bitcoin continues dumping, it might go and touch its 300-week moving average. And guys, another confluence we're seeing is that Bitcoin 300-week moving average is currently at 16,500. Probably that's where the bottom will come in, and if we see Bitcoin getting to that 16,500 region, and the RSI will still be oversold probably. And remember, the Fibonacci retracement tool is telling us that that's the region where the Bitcoin bottom will probably come in. Guys, remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your research. Guys, before I go, remember, the market is inherently unpredictable. Therefore, there is no 100% mathematical formula or strategies. You have to use a mechanical and systematic approach to mitigating the randomness of the market on a long-term perspective. Remember, after all what I showed you, it's not 100% right. It cannot just work 100% of the time. Things can actually change, even though history has shown that it always works the same way, because people expect it to change, and that's why it doesn't change. Drop a thought in the comment section. Tell me what you think about it. If you like the content, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more awesome videos like this. Turn on the post notification if you want to get notified anytime I drop a new video. See you guys in my next video. Bye.